All right. Greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. Welcome to Doom in the afternoon. Good to see all you. We're live on YouTube, Rockfin, and on Callin. And it's Friday, so we're going to be a little more interactive, although I probably won't take any calls until later, the last half of the show. Just giving you a warning, we probably will jump to Rockfin about midpoint. So you're not seeing any chats, Urban Hermit? I don't know. Well, interestingly, I don't know why, but let's see. I can't see your chat if you've left any. And I'm sorry about that. I don't know if I can get into my... Hold on one second. The other day, Poppy asked me... Oh, there you go. I don't know what... That's really weird. Okay, so Urban Hermit, you should be able to see... You should be able to chat now on Rockfin, okay? You were blocked. I don't know why you were blocked. Yeah, Poppy was blocked the other day. I did not block Poppy, of course, but I don't know if it's a glitch on Rockfin but right underneath all the chats for me, there's a block and a delete button right under the chat, right under each comment. So it is possible that I could accidentally hit a block. But the thing is I don't really click on the chats. I never click on the chats. I never get into the chats with my cursor during a show. So I'm not blocking anybody. I don't know what's going on. I think it is a glitch in Rockfin. So let's see. It is a glitch on Rockfin. Urban Hermit, you are there. Okay. All right. Great. Thanks for bringing it up. And in the future, just let me know if you can't see your chats on Rockfin. I think it is a glitch. I don't know what's going on. So. All right. Just fixing problems here. Just working through it. Did you guys know there's terrible flooding all over the planet? Were you aware? I purposely didn't show any of this yesterday because it's endless. This is in Ghana. Man, I mean, just amazing amounts of flooding going on all over the planet. Can you see this? Oh, I guess you can. But I just want to keep you abreast of all the extreme weather going on around the world because it does indicate that something is amiss. Because people that want to say that there isn't anything going on seem to conveniently never, focus on this or pay attention to this, right? Hey, what about all this stuff going on over here? Anyways, this is major flooding in Indonesia. This is Mentarang police chief has appealed to the people of Mentarang district and its surroundings.
Keluarga dan anak-anak, jangan sampai ada yang korban.
And that's quite a bit of flooding for sure. This is unconfirmed that this is in India, Gujarat. Looks like water buffalo being being whisked away by some heavy flooding. It's not that hard to see that something is amiss on the planet if you just want to pay attention. And it's also very difficult to explain away all of these things with nefarious technology. This is Poppy sent me this. Car skiing is now a survival technique. Isn't this from Spain? Or I don't know where this is from. Hold on. I feel like I've seen this footage before, but man, I feel like it's in Spain. That is crazy, though. Imagine being in your car and then being on your car and wondering where you're going to stop. Jane, stop this thing. Remember that? The Jetsons, remember. Stop this crazy thing. Yeah, so that's reality. Soon to be, probably you or somebody you know, their reality too, given the frequency of these events and their seeming seeming indifference to where you live or who you are or how much money you have. So this is from CNN. Horrific Libya flooding made up to 50 times more likely by planet-warming pollution, scientists find. By the way, Poppy, you are enabled as a moderator on YouTube, so just letting you know. I'm not necessarily, what the heck? No. Just, in case things get out of hand. Sometimes they get out of hand. Anyways, 50 times more likely by planet-warming pollution, scientists find. And, yes. Deadly rainfall, which caused catastrophic flooding and destruction in Libya, as well as other parts of the Mediterranean this month, was made much more likely and worse by human-caused climate crisis, in addition to other human factors. The World Weather Attribution Initiative, a team of scientists that analyze the role of climate change in the aftermath of extreme weather events, found planet-warming pollution made the deadly rainfall in Libya up to 50 times more likely to occur and 50% worse. They also found the extreme rainfall that hit Greece, Turkey, and Bulgaria was made up to 10 times more likely. There you go. Oh, yeah. By the way, we are going to get higher gas prices. We're going to talk about that eventually, for sure. There was a climate ambition summit recently, and it was notably unambitious. Why? Because we can't do anything about it. Really, we're not going to change how we organize ourselves on planet Earth in order to not destroy it. So there's really nothing we can do except for push words around on a paper, make cool feel good videos to put on Twitter. It's Zero Emissions Day. Hey, everybody, it's Earth Day again. Hey, everybody. Timothy Martin, Anvil fire 10 miles from me, biggest in the U.S. Okay. Dang. That's close. Anyways, top polluting nations were absent from the event. There you go. One activist compared the new climate pledges announced at the summit to trying to put out an inferno with a leaking hose. For a conference aimed at inspiring world leaders to dramatically ramp up their efforts to combat climate change. The United Nations Climate Ambition Summit was anything but ambitious. That's the message from climate activists after the day-long special summit came to a close without any notable commitments from the nations most responsible for causing global warming. The event was held Wednesday in New York City during the UN General Assembly. There is simply a huge mismatch between the depth of actions governments and businesses are taking and the transformative shifts that are needed to address the climate crisis. Certainly. David Waskow, director of the World Resources Institute's International Climate Initiative, wrote in a statement shortly after the summit adjourned, and some of the biggest emitters were noticeably absent from the stage. But the countries missing from the talks, the United States, China, India, Russia, France, and the UK, all right, we're left out by design. What? The leaders of those nations, which altogether account for more than half of the world's total greenhouse gas emissions, were not invited by the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to speak at the summit in order to send a message: step up your climate game or we're all in trouble. Okay. The world is not on track to meet the goals of the Paris Agreement, the UN warned in a major report earlier this month. Guterres reiterated that warning in his opening speech Wednesday, noting the Earth would warm by an average 2.8 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial levels by the end of the century, well beyond the target set by the International Climate Pact if far more isn't done by top polluting nations. What can they do? Antonio Guterres, what can they do? The U.S. and other wealthy nations have drawn criticism from Guterres and other climate advocates in recent years for not only failing to curb their use of fossil fuels, but actually expanding it, often justifying broken climate promises on rising inflation and Russian war in the Ukraine. It's a Russian war in the Ukraine, right? It's just a Russian war in Ukraine. That's all it is. It's just the Russians making war. Anyways. So that's why we can't do anything, guys, because we're at war. We talked about this yesterday. We're at war. And we're going to be at more war, where there's going to be more war. And there's lots of, saber rattling out there and lots of scary people out there. And, oh, my God, we need to ramp up. We need to mow down forests and the islands in South China Sea in order to build air bases. So in case we have some more war and stuff. We would like to address the climate crisis, but we're too busy tearing the planet apart in order to take over and control every last square inch of it. And I hope we succeed, because, man, then then we'll really have some democracy. Then we'll really have some peace on the planet. Yeah. We're not going to talk too much about the Ukraine war until we get off of YouTube, though. So, when we do jump off of YouTube, make sure to go over to Rockfin so you can continue to take part in the conversation or listen. We'll be talking about that on Rockfin. Why? Because it seems like YouTube is planning on upscaling its censorship fund. And the UK walked back one of its climate commitments as the summit was underway. On Wednesday, Minister Rishi Sunak announced the country's plan to ban new gas and diesel cars by 2030 would now go into effect in 2035. Do I hear 2040? How about 2060? Saying the previous goal would impose unacceptable costs on UK citizens. That's exactly how people in the UK like to talk. The move was one of the many decisions by wealthy countries over the last 2 years that have disappointed. I'm disappointed in climate activists and raised concerned. We are disappointed and concerned. Concerns among scientists who say the window to slow down global warming enough to avoid its worst consequences in coming decades is quickly closing, despite whatever the market forces and geopolitical circumstances may be. The move from fossil fuels to renewables is happening, but we are decades behind, Gutierrez said. All right, decades behind, huh? You think we're ever going to catch up? Guys, are we going to catch up? Do you think we'll catch up? There were positive announcements outside the summit, too, regarding two of the world's most carbon-intensive materials, cement and steel. A Los Angeles-based company announced it had found a way to drastically reduce the carbon footprint of its cement. Well, all right. Several major companies, including tech giant Microsoft and real estate developer Trammell Crow, announced a new green steel pledge. Guys, we're going to keep building, but we're going to make it with green steel, aimed at reducing the industry's carbon emissions by 2 million metric tons a year. All right, we did it. We saved the planet. That's it. It's done. Still, activists said those announcements, though welcomed, are unlikely to change the planet's current trajectory. Small steps countries offered are welcome, but they're likely trying to put out an inferno with a leaking hose. Ding. With COP28 climate talks now just 2 months away, many advocates worry that Wednesday's summit was a clear sign that a deal to phase out fossil fuels worldwide remains beyond reach. Of course it is. We don't have any plans. There's really no plans afoot to phase out fossil fuels. No real ones, anyways. Because you'd have to talk about, like degrowing the economy. You'd have to talk about people using a lot less energy. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to have that conversation. You'd have to talk about, the economy going from a growth economy to some kind of different kind of economy. And nobody has the language or the will or the outlines or the sketches or nobody in power anyways wants to do any of that talking, because you're just walking into the meat grinder if you do something like that. politically, the political meat grinder. I mean, unless somebody started talking about, it'd be now would be a great time for people to start having really frank, honest conversations about it, so that we could, definitely we should definitely stop waging and funding wars. I think that should be the first thing we do if we were serious about climate change. But we can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. And I'll talk about that a little more. All right. So give me a sec, William. I'm going to take calls after I switch over to Rockfin. I'm still on YouTube, and I don't know. I want to be somewhat careful not to, do anything untoward. But when I switch to Rockfin, I'll open up the lines, and then we could say whatever we want. We could talk about this and that. Last thing I wanted to talk about before we do that is I saw this the other day and I was going to play it, and I ended up not playing it. This is from Tyler Fisher, the comedian who lives in New York, and he was like, "Hey, they're spraying this stuff all over near where I live, and it's kind of scary." But this is, also why we don't have any plans to do anything to fix the climate, because we're too busy. Oh, whoops. We're too busy. What? Hello. Hold on. I'm going to get there. I promise I'm going to get there. We're too busy spraying pesticides and killing bugs, and doing things that absolutely must be done because humans don't want to be uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form. So we must. What? Why is this? That's weird. Come on, man. That's super weird. I'm going to try and get here, I promise. We must spray the chemicals, and we must kill the bugs. I mean, supposedly we're supposed to be eating the bugs, but we've got to kill them first. What the heck? No, dude. Man, this is being really weird. It does exist. I don't know what you're talking about. They're telling me this page does not exist. It's whack. Hold on. No. John from Los Angeles? No. What does John from Los Angeles talk about? Why aren't they letting me show this video? Hold on. Here we go. Tyler Fisher. Hello. Can I get to the post? Can I just get this post? It's interesting that they're not letting me, that they're kind of balking at me. Can you just show? No, this is a post. The page does exist. You wieners. Hold on one second. Just hum weird random things while I do this. Okay. Thanks, X. Thanks, X, for making my job so easy. Really? That's a confirmation code? Okay, that's weird. Yeah. No, I don't. What the heck? This is weird. They're making me change my password? while I try to log in here. This is whack. Hold on one second. Yeah. Why'd you change my Why did I change my password? Because you told me to. You knuckle. Oh my god, so stupid. They made me change my password and then asked me why I changed my password. Okay. Are you gonna let me show this video now, you boneheads? All right. He shows spraying of the skies. Oh, okay, cool. Anyway, so this is Tyler Fisher talking about their spraying, and the fact that they just like drove down the street and said, "Everybody get indoors, we're spraying." Like, and by the way, this comes via. Now I can. Comes via Ryan Christian, who says, "I will be discussing this on my show after some research today. I can already tell you that what they're spraying is documented to be an endocrine disrupting chemical and is documented to be toxic to bees and fish." Okay, of course it is. We all know about the spraying of the pesticides, right? That it's usually bad for bees, usually bad for a lot of animals, even though they say it's totally safe. And I've told you countless times a story about there was once pesticides being sprayed in my yard, and then everything stopped growing. I was like, and they swore, "Oh, it's totally safe. These pesticides are totally safe." And then everything got really weird and stopped growing, and the bees started disappearing, and I was like, "What the heck?" Anyways, let's watch this without further ado.
Does anybody live in New York City, and did you just have your house sprayed with pesticides? I was in my living room, my windows are open, these trucks come by, they're making these dystopian announcements. Run inside, get inside.
The city is applying pesticides to reduce the threat of the West Nile virus.
What the
Exposure to the pesticide, please. Go indoors immediately until the trucks have passed. The city is applying pesticides to reduce the threat of the West Nile virus.
This is the creepiest.
Exposure to the pesticide, please. Go indoors.
Look at this. What the It's going right on my window. Well, should have told me.
Okay. So, yeah, Loey Abbott says in Ecuador's biggest city, Guayaquil, the municipality sprayed malathion to kill mosquitoes. Yeah. Well, and under this video, everybody was like, "Oh, they totally spray for mosquitoes. I live in Florida, and they spray for mosquitoes every year. This is totally normal." No, it's not. Why are you spraying for mosquitoes every year? Oh, because the mosquitoes are bad. Okay. Spray for the mosquitoes, kill all the mosquitoes, then release the genetically engineered mosquitoes that are supposed to cut down on the disease, or the drone robo mosquitoes, because that'll certainly help. Guys, we're fighting climate change, okay? We're fighting climate change by spraying the skies with pesticides just to kill any random bugs that might be out there and disturbing people, disturbing the peace. These bugs are disturbing my peace. I think I need to spray some deadly chemicals into the air. But go climate change. Smart. Anyways, yeah, what are they, why are they really spraying? What are they spraying? What's really in here? What's the, sure, they probably kill some bugs, but what else do these chemicals do? I don't know. Yes, Malathion in L.A. I remember that too. I was here. I remember that as a child. What was it? The fruit. What were they spraying for? Again, some fruit bugs. And it was a big deal, and they sprayed, and everybody had to get indoors and cover their cars. Like, yeah, okay, sure, that'll be great, keeping us safe from these really dangerous bugs. Hold on one second. Just checking out the anvil fire that Timothy said here is going now. It's quite a big fire. Sending smoke all the way to the Bay Area. 16,000 acres, still no containment. So that's happening. They're evacuating people. %9 containment now. All right. Oh, I thought there was a video, but no, there's no video. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Well, stay safe, Timothy. All right, guys. We're gonna move over to Rockfin for the last couple of minutes of the show. Talk about some other things, and so we'll be on Rockfin and Callin. If you want to support the show, the really good ways to do it are paypal.me/Kevin Sandbloom, Venmo at Kevin Sandbloom, Cash App at Red Llama Music, buymeacoffee.com/Black Bear News. You can super chat me or super ray me, and I will check in at the end of the show for messages and or super chats, super rays, donations, whatnot, and I'll read those out later. Okay. YouTubers, sayonara.